What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and hit the notification bell. Today, I'm real excited to talk about Star Wars X-Wing Isard's Revenge. I posted about it at lunch all over Facebook, how much I was enjoying it. I got off work. I'm still in my dirty work clothes. It's just the way I got to shoot these videos nowadays. Got to get them in when I can. I just had to come home and finish the book. I loved it. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite X-Wing books. One of my favorite Star Wars books in general. So let's talk about the book a little bit. So it's Michael A. Stackpole, so I knew I was gonna have a good time. I'm a major fan of Michael A. Stackpole. He's easily one of my top 10 favorite writers now. I got his BattleTech books coming up this summer. A few of them I'm super excited for. But the basic premises of the book is exactly what it says: Isard's Revenge. And it's actually great. Some people were saying they didn't really like her returning, but I thought it was freaking clever that not only do they think she's returned, but they actually find out the one they first, because they're going after this other admiral that wants to become this elite, grand admiral, rise of the empire again, blah blah blah. The same shtick as it's been going on throughout these books and the Thrawn trilogy and that stuff. So they want to take this dude out. They find out that Isard's above his shit. She's with him, but what they find out from the Isard they first meet is that Isard is a clone. So there's two Isards now. They find out that she never died in the other X-Wing books, so she's back, wreaking havoc. All this crazy stuff goes on, and she ends up basically capturing Rogue Squadron, and she wants them to help her and do her deed. The real Isard, not the clone. And all this is going on, and they're trying to find the Lusanka prison because the clone Isard baited them into basically rescuing some prisoners that were starving to death. There's a bunch of stuff going on. And all while that's going on, you're having Gavin and his Bothan in his relationship with the Bothan Azir. They're dealing with these issues. They want to adopt children because obviously they can't mate and have or they can mate, but they can't have kids because they're two different species. And all this stuff's going on with that. You got Corran fumbling with the ideas of, really going to the Jedi Academy and becoming a Jedi with Luke. He's carrying around his lightsaber. Pretty cool stuff there. You have Wedge navigating, being a general now. And, so all that's going on while the clone Isard is basically baiting them into basically traps to take them out. And then finally the true Isard comes to their rescue and saves them, but takes them prisoner at the same time. And, wants their help to destroy the clone and the Admiral. So, but unbeknownst to the real Isard, Corran, he smells her deception a mile away, and he kind of sets up, him and Wedge set up their two droids to basically do some undercover stuff and smite the whole operation that the real Isard set up to do, and things like that go on. So at the end of the book, you run into both Isards, and it goes exactly like you would think. Not going to spoil that part for you, but what we will say now, let's talk about the book in general. That's their basic plot lines, the basic stories right there. It's a pretty short book, so there's a little more to it, but read the book if you want to get into that. But what we see in the book, the first half of the book is really, it's kind of bland. It's kind of like I was passing out reading the first half of the book, and I was like kind of down about it. I was like, man, Michael Stackpole's kind of letting me down. It's a little lackluster. And I was like, this is going to be a low rated book for me for Star Wars. But then the second half of the book picks up, and it is just, he hits it out of the park. You're rewarded with the patience of getting there, and it is awesome. You run into the real Isard getting into the second half of the book. The battles are freaking epic that get you there, and then the ones to come. All this crazy stuff is going on, and it's absolutely just Michael A. Stackpole just does a marvelous job, with his characters in this book. And which I forgot to say, throughout the story, you also have Mirax and Illa. They end up getting basically thwarted. They think they're doing like this secret mission against Isard, and they're thwarted and almost get captured, but they get rescued. And then Mirax's dad was watching their backs, and he was there to save the day, which Mirax was upset about, whatever. And they end up saving a few of the Rogue Squadron that were basically Rogue Squadron got decimated when they ran into the Admiral and the clone Isard's trap, and that's when the other Isard, the real Isard, came and rescued him. It gets a little complicated, but anyways, like I was saying, the first half of the book is just slow. You know what I mean? You got to stick with it though, because the second half is the biggest payoff ever. It's amazing. 10 out of 10. I love the book. It was just, you know what I mean? It just ups your want to read more Star Wars. And I got the Jedi Academy trilogy coming up in June, and I'm pretty excited for those. So it's going to be a good time. Right now, I'm going to end the month and go into June with this beast, Tom Clancy Executive Orders. I've already started it to try to get a head start. It's just a psychotically long book, and I would assume it's going to take me 8 or 9 days unless I really buckle down. And I might try to squeeze a manga or 3 in. The mangas are like 20-minute reads. Let's be real. So, no big deal. But yeah, Executive Orders is a daunting task, and that's why I gave myself basically a week leeway at the end of the month and going into June with it, so I could get that out of the way and then focus on all the rest of my June TBR. And we'll go over that in a video coming up soon. But yeah, Microwave Stackpole Star Wars Isard's Revenge. I highly recommend. 10 out of 10. I loved it. So that's it today. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you read it, let me know what you think. If you DNF'd it, I highly say go back and finish it, because it's definitely, the payoff is great. Later.